When I was in the seventh grade, we moved from Richmond, Indiana to Marion, Indiana in the middle of semester. So over Christmas break, we made the move. And I had spent 6 years walking across the street to my elementary school and one semester walking about 5 blocks to my junior high. And so it wasn't until we moved to Marion, Indiana that I had my first experience of riding the school bus. Traumatic. I don't know if you've ever been to the northern part of Indiana in the wintertime, but to go to the bus stop about a quarter of a mile away from our house, I was walking in the dark. I was walking, it snowed, so we had about a foot of snow on the ground. The road had been pretty cleared. So I walked up to the adjoining road, and I remember standing there in the dark, in the cold, waiting for the bus. And I could look down the road to my left, and I saw the bus stop a couple of streets down the road. A group of kids that I'd heard talking down there got on the bus. I got ready, got my stuff together, stood up a little straighter, watched the bus come down the street, watched the bus roll right past me, and keep on going without stopping. And I stood there for a little bit in the dark, trying to figure out what just happened. Now, there are a number of instances in my life where certain things are what I would call defining moments. Graduating high school was a defining moment. The birth of my children were all defining moments. Both marriages were defining moments. Both divorces were defining moments. The death of my father was definitely a defining moment. But the first one, the one that I remember vividly as being the first defining moment of my life, was that morning standing in January on the side of the road. Because it sort of became the summary of what my life would become. Standing in the dark on the side of the road, watching the bus pass me by. And I wound up spending a great majority of my life being somebody who stood on the sidelines watching life happen around me rather than being a participant. That's a defining moment. I think that it is the pain of life that stays with us longer than the joys. They have more impact on us than the joy of life. Not to diminish joy, obviously, and not to be a downer talking about pain, but pain, the times that define us like pain are like a crack in the vase. They're like a small tear in the tapestry that we are creating to what our life looks like. And it's always there. It sort of always draws your eye. It is those tears in our tapestry, those cracks in the vase, that allow us to actually love more unconditionally in life, because we know what pain feels like, and we can understand that pain is happening in other people's lives. Now, we can try to gloss over it, we can try to cover it up, we can go to therapy for years to diminish it, we can try to mend the vase, we can try to patch up the tapestry. But if we choose to ignore it, if we choose to try to pretend like the pain doesn't exist, if we try to just stuff it down inside of us, we lose some of our ability to be empathetic to other people. Because by stuffing down our pain, we just think everybody ought to just do that. Everybody should just stuff the pain. Everybody should just ignore the crack in the vase. Because after all, that's what we've done. I turned 62 years old this weekend. And even today, I still have visions. I still dream about that moment. It's still very, very real to me. That point in the life of a teenager who doesn't understand what's going on around me. I just didn't. I did not get it. I didn't know what was happening. Our family members, our students, our coworkers, they all have those cracks in the vase. They all have those tears in the tapestry. They all have those moments of pain in life that are confusing, that are hard, that are difficult, and after years and years, maybe they still don't understand why it affects them. But they're there, and we need to realize they're there, because it is in the interaction of pain where we become most human. It's in that interaction between points of pain where we come to realize that we can give unconditionally to other people. Teachers do this every day. Standing on the road in the dark, in the cold, in the snow, watching a bus drive by, wasn't the end of the world for me. I think that it has helped me to be more empathetic toward people. The fact that that is the first real memory of pain, of confusion, of doubt that I have. And it lingers. That crack in the vase, that tear in the tapestry is always there. And I think that it allows me, at least at 62 years old, to be more empathetic than I am judgmental. And at 62, in the age of COVID-19, that's not a bad thing.